Right, I think we are live. Hello, people, and welcome to the first round of the Formula 2 Championship. We are here in Australia, as you can see, and we've got 18 drivers at the lobby at the moment, so almost a full lobby, so it should be a good one for the first round of the 21 race championship. We are kicking things off in a dry Melbourne, as it seems like, here in qualifying. And hopefully for the next 18 minutes that will be the case. So yeah, 18 people still in the lobby. We've got most teams filled up, and early predictions, if anyone stand out from the two pre-season races we did the last 2 weeks. I would have to say Nigel seemed very quick in Hockenheim last week in the evaluation race 2 weeks ago. Actually, last week was the Lake Castellet race, the pre-season testing race. So yeah, already some cars going out on track, and as we were saying, Rinky, Nigel, and interestingly, they were the two drivers that got promoted from F3, and they are looking very strong in F2 already. So let's see how they do here in Melbourne, as most cars are already out on track. Hopefully no traffic issues. Okay, as I believe Chill drivers on the super soft tires for the beginning of qualifying. They've still got 18 minutes, so yeah, you can do quite a lot of runs as we get an awful camera angle there. And yeah, Giroux already pushing the limits into turn 3. GTX is also going out on a lap. We're just waiting for someone to start a lap. I'm not sure who was the first one to go out. I believe one of the Force Indias in sector 3 almost. Hello to everyone watching. Good evening. Yeah, here we are with Rinky. I believe Gamer is closer to the finish line, so let's ride on board with him as he makes his way through the penultimate corner. Johnny now is going to cross the line and is going to start the flying lap. Let's see if he turns 1 and 2, fourth gear in turn 1. It's a very smooth exit out of 2. Now approaching the very tight turn 3, the right-hander, almost a hairpin. It's the third gear, smooth on the power again, not touching the inside curb there, using a lot of the track. I would imagine the yellows in sector 3 will be because of traffic, if anything, as yeah, every car is now out on track, and it's hard to place 18 cars in a, I believe, almost 5 kilometer circuit. So yeah, gonna be tricky for people to find their space. But John is now approaching sector 3, and it seems like a okay lap so far. I believe a mid 20 would be decent for a banker. Through the tricky section now, very technical part of Melbourne. And this is the apex by a bit there, and might cost him a 10th. Now hits the apex for the penultimate corner. He's got a Haas right ahead of him. It may cost him another 10th there. A lot of understeer through there. So across the line is going to be a 1:20.982 for Johnny R95, and I believe Gamer is going to cross the line, and yes, he does go provisional pole with a 20.6, over 3/10 quicker than the British driver of Johnny R95. Rinky beats Johnny as well to go to P2 with a 20.7, just over 700ths of a second slower than Gamer. But now Jay beats them all. The stonker of a lap, 20.2, a very nice lap from Jay, puts him on provisional pole by over 4/10 of a second from Gamer. And yeah, he absolutely storms the field away with Warlock doing a 21.6 on his first lap. Shield Drive at 21.5, and we've got Spaghetti now going up into P2 with a 20.5, but still 3/10 of the pole lap. Robin into P7 with a 21.2. And I also believe AFC Stan went into P6 with a 120.9. Greenwich Beer now pops up in P3 with a 20.6. So it's very close from P2 to P5. So I think we're going to see a very nice battle for these positions, but hopefully someone can challenge Jay for pole. As right now it's at 20.2. The drivers have to beat that. Got JTX and P11 with a 22.3. And still 7 drivers with no lap time set. So let's see, Undefined is not on a flying lap. Joruru has retired from the session. I'm not sure why that is. It's quite early on in the session, so yeah, hopefully no big issues for Joruru. RGW, I believe, is on a lap. Someone just posted a lap, and it was Maledictus, I believe, who pops up in P6 with a 20.8. A decent lap puts him in P6 at the moment. Undefined is not in a lap. I don't think he will go for another one. He comes back into the pit lane, and now RJW is about to finish his flying lap, I believe. So through the last corner, he's going to open the DRS, 50 on the exit, and across the line it's going to be a 121.0, just missing out on the 120s. It puts him currently in P9, and that leaves us with 5 people not having set a lap time. Got Suomi out on track. He's on a flying lap. It's going to be a 121.7, which puts him 13th and penultimate at the moment. So we'll be looking to improve that lap. Nigel is about to start his flying lap, and so is Tom Killer through the Sector 3 section. As the top 3 are still on the pits. Gamer is going out on his out lap now. Maledictus, RJW and Robin are all out on track, ready to start their flyers for the second time today. Nigel very conservative through the first 2 corners. I am keeping an eye on him. He was very fast in Hockenheim. Through turn 3 again, very conservative on this Force India. 3rd gear through turn 4. And through the sector 1 split. It's been a very messy sector 1, if I do say so. It's a 26.6. Warlock gets out of the way now as Nigel makes his way through sector 2 into turns 8 and 9. And approaching the very fast left-right chicane, which you have to be very careful in. The curbs are very lethal sometimes. I want to see the telemetry of Nigel. He's looking alright with the ERS. I'm not sure about fuel though, as he is going quite conservatively. Through the penultimate corner now. Maledictus lets him through as well. As we said, traffic may be an issue today. Oh, it goes very wide, and Nigel almost hits the wall. He's very lucky not to get damage from hitting a wall there. It's a 20.7, so not too shabby in the end, just slower than his teammate by 16 thousandths of a second. Tom Killer goes P2 with a 20.4, the Ferrari on the front row of the grid at the moment. It actually seems like he may go for a second consecutive lap. We're going to focus on the other guys. Beer is about to start his flying lap. Can he improve on the second row of the grid? Can he snatch the front row over in pole? We're going to find out in just over a minute. He opens the DRS as he approaches a very tight turn 3. Remains in 7th gear. Just he is up to 8th gear there. 4th gear through turn 4. Now approaching a very fast right-hander. Use a lot of the track there. And sector 1, I believe it's at 26.5. You can see on the steering wheel. So it's looking good for Greenwich so far. I don't think it's going to be the fastest sector 1 today, but it is looking like an improvement. Greenwich is switching the modes on his steering wheel. Gamer goes P2 and throws Tom Killer out of the front row. It's going to be a 20.37 for Gamer. It's still 1.5 tenths off Jay, but they are getting there. They are getting closer to the Mercedes driver, who is just starting a lap now. Can he set the benchmark even lower? Let's see. An interesting line to turn 1 and 2. There's a lot of traffic there. Maledictus on the McLaren. Drake is a bit wide. Maledictus not going to let him through. And approaching the sector 1 split. Let's see what it's going to be. Preferably a low 26 for Jay. It's a 26.4. Let's see if Jay can get into the 19s. I don't think he will be able to after that. And he does indeed back off. Gamer has also finished his second run. He's on his in lap now. Spaghetti, I believe he is on a flying lap, and it's a pretty good one, as it seems like, as the clouds are coming in now. Maybe the temperature is decreasing, and still undefined is yet to set a lap. I'm not sure why. I'm going to check what he's doing. As Spaghetti goes very wide, almost crashes into the inside wall. Undefined is actually through the last corner, so the two Toro Rossos are about to finish a lap. Undefined, not a great lap. It's going to be P13, only a 21 point. Spaghetti goes pole with a 20.1, and that is the Toro Rosso up into P1. He pushes Jay out of the pole position. And what is he going to do to reply to that? Jay, Gamer and Tom Killer also close to Spaghetti, but they cannot quite beat it yet. Spaghetti is probably going to have one more run as well, so it's going to be a showdown on the finale with just over 6 minutes to go on this qualifying session. I'm going to check the comments real quick. Hello Chill Drive, hello RJW, hello I saw Lakitu, hello Mitchell. Kalik is not commentating because me and Bad Boy are the F2 commentators this season. So yeah, people are getting ready for their first for their third actually run of this qualifying session. So let's see how it unfolds. Very few drivers out on track, as the top 6 are all on the pit lane. Let's see what Nigel is doing. Nigel's out on track, and I believe he just went past us. There he is into turn 1. He's starting a lap now. Again, very interesting line. They're not using all the track. He's going to remain in 7th gear, 3rd gear through there. Robin goes up into P5 with a 20.4, just behind his teammate. Again, 17 thousandths. So the Force Indias and the Ferraris very close to each other. Going to be interested to see how that all pans out. Around the ball with Nigel again, as he makes his way into turn 8 and into turn 9. Nigel doesn't seem to be pushing at 100% into the flash chicane. Seems better than last time. I think it is going to be an improvement, as Jay and Gamer are making their way out for their final run of the day. 5th gear through here, approaching the penultimate corner. It's important to keep it all together here, not lose unnecessary time. And through the last corner, again a lot of understeer, but I believe this is going to be an improvement. What is it going to be? It's P4, it's a 20.376, and it's 6,000 shy of P3. And I don't think Nigel is going to have time for another run. Not because of time, but because of tires. I think he's already done, he's already used the 3rd set. And I believe it's going to be P4 at best for Nigel. A valiant effort. But in my opinion, he could have pushed a bit harder. Let's ride on board with Gamer as he gets past Jay on track, and they are both about to start their laps. Gamer seems to have quite a lot of clean air in front of him. Not sure about Jay, as he's letting more people through. It's very difficult for the Mercedes driver. He's now going to pump it up into hot lap mode to start his third and flying lap of the day. Let's run on board with the second place guy, Jay Hightek. This could be the pole lap. Into turn 1. Shifts down to 4th gear, clipping the inside and outside curb. Opens the DRS, very nice through turns 1 and 2. And into turn 3. Brakes just over the 100-meter board. Missing the apex by quite a bit. Into turn 4 now. Very smooth. And the first sector is going to be a 26.407. Very nice indeed. I think it's a very slight improvement on his last lap time, but it doesn't need that much to beat Spaghetti. Into turns 8 and 9, his third gear and 4th on the exit. Approaching the second sector split. With one more sector to go. It's a 48.053. It's very nice. Oh, lose the back end on the chicane. That could cost him a half a tenth or 1. And into the last 4 corners now. Keeping it together, hitting the apexes, very important here. He does that well. It was a very clean run through there. Nice penultimate corner, easy on the power. And around the final corner, Gamer beats Spaghetti by 11 thousandths to go on pole. Is Jay gonna beat that? Yes, he is. It's a 20.036. Jay goes on pole. Gamer second, and Spaghetti finds himself dropping from P1 to P3 in a matter of seconds. What is he gonna do to respond? It's now Spaghetti's turn. He's gonna have the last walk on this quali session with just over a minute to go. It's all kicking off here. It's Spaghetti versus Gamer versus Jay. Spaghetti has to find 1.5 tenths to get pole position for the first round of F2. Into turns 1 and 2. I believe someone improved, but I'm not sure exactly who. Undefined must have went, P9 with a 20.6, so it goes on to the top 10, but we're going to ride on board with Spaghetti. It's 1 0.5 a tenth slower than Jay, and he loses the back end. And that is qualifying over for Spaghetti. It looked good for pole. It's now going to be P3 at best. It's up to Grangebeard. Grangebeard goes P4 with a 20.166, just 5,000 shy of P3. So close between the top 4 there. What is Tom Killer going to do on the Ferrari? Using a lot of the track there through the last 3 corners. Approaching the very tight penultimate corner. Most people have retired. Most eyes on Tom Killer. Around the final corner, opens the DRS, uses a lot of the grass as well for good measure. Across the line, it's P5, it's an improvement, and a 20.3. And 2 sets waste. Gamer, still going. I'm not sure if he's on a flying lap. He seems to be going quite quick. I actually believe he's on a flying lap, so this is interesting. This could be a very late charge by Gamer for pole position today. The second sector split looks very good. It's very close to Dre, but he loses the back end. And that is qualifying over for Gamer as well. And now we're just waiting on Maledictus. Maledictus on a very good qualifying position. It's P11. He's going to get a fresh set of tyres. Unless it's raining for the race, and I don't know. It's currently a 20.8 for Maledictus. A big lock up through the penultimate corner. Steady on the throttle through the last one. I believe it's going to be a big improvement for Maledictus. It's P6 for the McLaren driver. Very good effort. And that is qualifying over. A very nice qualifying. Very close throughout the field. But it is going to be Jay who claims pole and claims the best seat in the house for the first round of F2. And it's a 20.0. No one clocked the 19th. Gamer in second, Spaghetti in third, and Greenwich Beer just 130 thousandths away from pole in P4, rounding up the front two rows. Its fellow Belgian driver Tom Killer in fifth, Maledictus in sixth, Nigel, Robin and Rinky, all Dutch people, in P7, 8, 9 respectively. And undefined on the Red Bull is going to, I'm not sure if that's the Red Bull or Toro Rosso, a very weird name, but either way he rounds up the top 10. So we are absolutely shaping up for an incredible race. The top 4 separated by just 1.5 tenths in qualifying. What are we going to see in the race? I'm just gonna quickly check the comments again. Some people obviously annoyed at qualifying, could have done a better lap, such as Chill Drive, RJW, Mitchell. Qualify. Anything could spice up the strategy. We could see a lot of things today, and the field is very close, so formation lap is going to get underway right now from J to Gamer to Spaghetti to Greenwich Beer. I'm going to check the tyre selections for everyone outside the top 10. So 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th are starting on the super soft tyres. There's Johnny, AFC Stan, RJW, Shield Drive, and then we have Warlock on softs, and Swomi, JTX, Trururu and Mitchell on the super soft. Out who joined. It's probably one of the guys behind. It's probably Mitchell, and he's starting on the super soft tyre. So Warlock on soft, very interesting choice. We might see him leading the race if he has some good pace and he manages to warm up these softs quickly, because it is a quite hard thing to do. But as we said, top 4 covered by 1.5 tenths in qualifying. It is indeed shaping up to be a very close race. Jay is completing the formation lap, and any moment now we are going to be lining up on the grid for the first race of season 5 here in Formula 2. It's a Mercedes on pole. As they now approach the grid, and for one last time the game is going to heat up the tyres prior to the race start. As Jay is now lined up on the grid, and everyone is getting ready for the start of this Australian GP. Mitchell is lined up on the grid, and we are just moments away from the start of the Australian GP. It's 5 red lights here in F2, and season 5 is under way here. Mitchell gets a very interesting start on the background, may have been a jump start. Jay with a very good start. The Toro Rosso around the outside is going to be P2 for Spaghetti, around the outside of 2 people. Grinchby up into P3, Gamer down to P4, Tom Killer in P5, Rinky P6. A lot of positions lost by Maledictus. I'm not sure what's happened there, but Gamer and Grinchby are going side by side through turn 4. Who's going to have the upper hand? I think it's going to be the guy on the inside now into turn 5. It's going to be Williams, but Grinchby is sticking around the outside. It's a great battle to watch, and still side by side between the two of them. Grinchby sticks it up the outside into P3. Gamer in P4. Tom Killer incredibly close to these two in P5. Let's see what happens here. The Williams down the inside, and they crash. Grinchby and the Williams, and Tom Killer gets involved as well. Big shunt in the first lap between Greenwich Beer Tom Killer and Gamer, the Williams. So Gamer's still in P4. I'm not sure if he has damage or not. Rinky has got a lot of benefit from that, up into P3, and the top two just covered by 4/10 after 2.5 sectors of this first lap. Maledictus has lost a bit of track position there on the start. He was down to P11 for once. So let me just see the position change. Alexander Fine has gained 5 positions, Rinky with 6, and Spaghetti is right behind Jay. Jay is struggling just a bit into the first corner. Oh, and Spaghetti's lost it. Spaghetti's lost it in the exit of turn 2, and that's going to allow Rinky into P2, and he almost loses it as well. It's all kicking off here. People losing it absolutely everywhere. It's hard to keep up. Well, take this up into P6. Gamer kind of brakes checks Rinky as the VSC is now deployed. Absolutely mad start. Spaghetti has lost all of his front wing, I believe, down to P5. Rinky up into P3, momentarily up into P2, but he lost the back end as he went on the grass to try and avoid Spaghetti. And let's just recap of what's happened and what's happened here. I'm not sure exactly what the positions are, and we are no longer under VSC, so this is pure racing. Under Fine without a front wing, getting very close to Chills Drive's back end. What is going to go here? Look at that, 6 cars in the span of 1 second. Under Fine leaves them all through very cleanly. Nice camera shot there. This is the battle for the points almost. It's leading up to Swomi, so it's the battle for P10. Look at that, so many cars on the background. Spaghetti loses a lot of positions as he doesn't have a front wing. RJW all over the back end of Warlock. DRS is now enabled as we are starting lap 3, and we've already had a VSC on the previous lap. Spaghetti goes into the pits and he speeds in them as well. That's going to result in a 5-second stop-go added to his race time. RJW may line up a move on Warlock now. No, he doesn't, so stays in P8. Warlock in P7, very close to Johnny. Johnny's done a very nice start, 5 positions gained, and pretty much everyone has gained a position since Tom Killer, Grangebeer and Spaghetti have all gone to the back of the grid. Jay and Gamer somehow still in P1 and 2. Gamer has gained significantly since the VSC. It was around 6 seconds the gap, but Rinky is pushing him hard, and as we saw, Rinky had a bit better race pace than Gamer on the first 2 laps before the VSC started. So let's see, it could be interesting here for the podium positions. Chill Drive has got a penalty, goes sector 3's Warlock. Warlock has retired from the race, and there is the Haas. He's lost, I don't think he's lost any front wing, any tyre, sorry, but his car is terminally damaged. He's gonna have to retire from the Australian GP. The Season 2 World Champion is facing the barriers on lap 4 on this Australian Grand Prix, so he's out. It's the first retirement of the season, and certainly not a record that anyone will want to hold. Chill Drive is getting ever so slightly closer to Swomi, but he also has to watch out for penalties as Gamer and Jay are retaining the 4.5 gap. JTX and Mitchell on a battle. JTX was a bit wide. Mitchell thinks about a move there. I think Mitchell's got some front wing damage, what I can see on the... Yeah, he does, and he does have a lot of understeer. Jaruru gets past, and that's Mitchell down to P13. As AFC Stan and Grangebeer going side by side. Grangebeer around the outside. This for P15. Side by side, the pair of them. And AFC Stan, that's a bloody awesome move around the outside. I don't think Grangebeer's got any sort of damage. So that was all balls on into turn 5 from Stan. It's up into P15, but up front we've got a 4.1 gap forming now between the top 2, so Gamer is getting closer and closer. As Jaruru and JTX now battling. JTX has lost the position to Jaruru. The McLaren driver is now getting closer to the points. Closest gap we have is RJW and Johnny. The Red Bull driver now having a look down the inside, but he thinks better of it. He's still way too far back to think of a move. Mitchell is in the pit. Johnny's not going to think about defending. Tom Killis is the quickest lap of the race on softs, on the 24.9. RJW now is very close to Johnny. The Renault driver seems to be struggling a bit on those super soft tyres. Spaghetti now sets the quickest lap with a 24.0 on super softs. He's down in P16. If the Red Bull driver goes for any sort of move, Maledictus got a 3-second penalty, which is not going to help at all for the fight for P4. You can see he's very close to Nigel. RJW has lost just a bit of time in a place that he wouldn't want to. He wants to be closer to Johnny to make a move into the first corner. He breaks way later than the Renault driver into the penultimate corner. And through the final corner, that's a way better exit from RJW. This is surely going to be moved on for the Red Bull. And up into P6 he goes. John is going to have to back out. He doesn't have the tyre grip that RJW has. And he gets a 3-second time penalty from that. Some questionable penalty from the game there. Swomy goes a bit wide now. Shield drives all of the back of the Haas. Capitalize on the world as the gap now between the top two is decreased to 3.7, so 4/10 each lap for Gamer. Jay is not the quickest car out on track at the moment, but they are still going on these ultra soft tyres on lap 6 out of 29. Grimsby and Stan are very close to each other as well. There's some battles going on track. Maledict is also getting very, very close to Nigel. Let's see how that one goes. Nigel through the penultimate corner. Maledict is very close to him, but I don't think he's going to go for a move into the first corner. I highly doubt it, as Grimsby is now very close to Stan. Maledict is getting very, very close, but I don't think he will be able to go for a move. So it's right on board with Grimsby. Mitchell gets a 3-second penalty. Robin is losing a lot of positions. What happened to him? I'm not very sure, but he is now down to P11. As Grimsby is very close to Stan. He goes for a move that wasn't there. The gap wasn't there. Maledictus is now less than 3/10 away from Nigel. Let's see if he goes for a move. He'll think about it. He'll dive bomb. But he's going to lose quite a lot of time by committing to that move. Nigel's now got a bit of breathing space of 0.8 of a second. So the battle for P10 is interesting as well. Robin, Tom Killer, Andrew Ruru and P10. They're all fighting for that 1 point at the moment. Stan and Grimsby very close as well. We've got yellow flags in sector 1 and 2. Who could that be? I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so we don't have any position changes, so I don't know who that yellow flag was waving for. The gap between the top two is now 3.1 seconds, so it has to be said that Gamer is way quicker now than Jay. Robin makes his pit stop as we saw there. Now the only under a second gap we have is Swomy and Johnny. The round of pit stops has started by Robin. Jay and Gamer are still going on the ultra softs on lap 8. I believe you can pit now and go to the end on softs. And Jay may be doing that as he's struggling, and he does translate into race pace as the gap is now 2.5. Gamer seems to have a very stable car here. He's catching Jay by quite a lot, and if Jay opts to stay out for another lap, in my opinion, it would be a big mistake. But let's see. Chill Drive gets another 3-second time penalty. Jay comes into the pit lane, and the Mercedes crew will be going out. Gamer carries on. Gamer carries on his Williams. He takes over the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. Jay, Rinky, Nigel carries on as he doesn't want to get held up by Rinky. Johnny also carries on. Subomi carries on. There's only 3 people in the pits after lap 8. So we'll have to wait a couple more laps for the order to be reset. Subomi is so close to Johnny now. Both of them are struggling for it through the first sector. Johnny is going to have a bit more dirty air than Johnny. As even the battle of P17 is very close. We've only had 1 retirement so far, so it's been relatively clean as Chill Drive is now catching onto the back of Swomi and Johnny for the battle for P4. And let's focus on what Gamer does. Is he going to pit now? He's approaching the penultimate corner, and he's probably going to have already made his decision. I don't think he's pitting, so he's carrying on for yet another lap on the ultra soft tires. We've lost Chill Drive, so that must be a disconnection for Chill Drive. Very unfortunate, as it was shaping up to be a 3-way battle for P4. Nigel and RJW though do pit, as Johnny and Swomi are gonna take P2 and 3 respectively. Is Swomi gonna go for a move? No, he's not. Let's see if it turns 2 now. Johnny gets a way better exit. Seems like he's gonna stay in P2 for now. Chill Drive has joined back. His AI is still going, so he hasn't pitted. Jay at the moment is not going to have to face Chill Drive, I don't think. It's going to be interesting to see if Chill Drive rejoins before Jay passes him. He's not, so Jay is quite lucky there. He's not going to have any dirty air. No overtakes to have to be made, so Gamer, I think, is going to lose a bit of time now to Jay. Certainly from the undercut. I think slowly now Chill Drive is going to regain the control of his car, as ahead of him Tom Killer and JTX are absolutely going at it. As Swomi and Johnny are also very close. Back to Tom Killer and JTX. Tom goes down the inside as Gamer now pits. Rangebeck gets a 3-second time penalty, and Tom Killer makes the move stick on JTX. Johnny pits and Swomi stays out for another lap on the super soft tyres. And I would imagine Gamer has now pitted for the soft tyres. So Gamer and JTX, Gamer and Jay, sorry, is going to be very close actually. It's a bit confusing me. So this is Tom Killer, and Gamer has rejoined behind Tom Killer and just ahead of JTX. So it's not that bad for Gamer. He's only about 3.4 seconds behind Jay, and a car in between them. Swomi is currently the race leader with Joruru in P2, the 2 super soft runners, so they may come in handy for Gamer, because Jay is going to have to pass them. I don't think they're going to be pitting for another 1 or 2 laps. Chill Drive and Stan are now very close. Chill Drive for some reason has not regained his AI. Undefined is the second retirement we have today, as we have a safety car. Okay, so that's very interesting. We have a safety car deployed, I believe, for Undefined. And now Spaghetti's got a drive-through penalty for speeding on the safety car. That must be very annoying. And now Suomi and Jaruru are going to benefit massively from this. Tom Killer as well. So this is interesting. This is going to mix the field up a lot. It's going to be to see where Jaruru and Suomi rejoin. I don't think any of the other guys is going to pit. They don't. JTX is going to pit. Mickey stays out on the soft. So Jay, Tom and Gamer are your current top 3. Rinky in P4, Grimsby in P5. Nigel now up into P6, and the other guys have all made a pit stop. Maledictus is going to come right in the thick of things now. He's up into P9, right behind his teammate. So it's the 2 Force Indias, the 2 McLarens and the 2 Red Bulls. So it's going to be interesting to see the battle for the midfield and the 5-way battle for the win. This is all shaping up to be a very nice ending, as we're going to have about 15 laps of racing after the safety car leaves. Grimsby has now got a 5-second stop and go for severe collision with Rinky, but none of them have front wing damage. So hope this isn't a glitch from the game. But either way, it's Jay who leads a Mercedes 1-2 with a safety car. It's Tom Killer in second, it's Gamer in third, Binky in fourth, the other Williams of Grimsby in fifth, the 2 Force Indias, Nigel and Suomi in sixth and seventh, then the 2 McLarens and the 2 Red Bulls follow, with Johnny going downhill into P12. The safety car hasn't really helped him. He was running well inside the top 10, and Gamer did report some connection issues before the race, and we are now seeing it. Gamer has some connection issues. Johnny with a 5-second stop and go. Why is that? He had a collision with Stan, so yeah, very unfortunate. Gamer is now losing positions. Oh no, he's not. Okay, it's a bit confusing. Rinky and Grimsby have now pitted. That's not a game glitch. That's just them pitting, and they're going to come out in the back of the grid. So that's an interesting strategy. We're going to see how that pans out, because I'm pretty sure the top 4 are all going to the end. So, and the top 5 actually. So yeah, Gamer has some connection issues, I believe. Yeah, it's a bit interesting. Don't want to tell him to leave, but he is having some major lag issues. I'm gonna check the comments real quick. Yeah, chill drive, you can go on your name and press like right here, and then take control. It should be available on your screen. I'm not sure if you have everything in control. Yes, you have. Okay, so that's all good. Only Gamer is lagging a bit, but yeah, other than that, it's all good. Yes, quite a lot of lag, and he's getting some penalties for collision, which isn't happening on anyone's screen. It's a bit annoying. It must be a bit annoying, but yeah, safety car is going to come in this lap. There's a quite late notification. Jay's going to have to batch up the pack. Hopefully no incidents happening with Gamer here. I'm going to ride on board with Jay. He's going to pace the field as the safety car is right there. Jay weaves from left to right, and I think it's going to be go, go, go for Jay on the exit of the last corner. Not the best restart for Jay. The Ferrari is right behind him. Tom Killer, they're trying to board with him. He's not close enough into turn 1. Oh. Gamer, a lot of lag there. It's gonna be a bit yeah, confusing. Nigel, it says he's up into P3, but now Gamer is spawning everywhere. So Joruru, Childrive, and Stan all out of the race. What's happened there? Big crash, and we've missed it. Joruru, Childrive, and Stan out of the race. Mitchell's out of the race. JTX has lost a lot of time and his front wing. Mad restart. Rinky has lost his front wing. So a lot of people there losing parts of their car and their wheels on the safe car restart. Nigel is very close to Tom Killer. Let's see, through the chicane. Jay is already 1.8 ahead of the Ferrari. Is the Force India going to think for a move? He stays back as Maledictus and Schwoman are very close. There's also going to be a battle to watch out for. But right now this is the battle for P2 with 16 laps to go. But yeah, that was a huge crash. We are now left with only 13 runners after that 3-car pile-up, and Mitchell as well retiring a couple of seconds later. Forcing is going to look for it. Maledictus is also close to Swomi as Rinky now makes a pit stop to go to the end of the race. Rinky has now got a 5-second stop go for speeding. I'm pretty sure everyone's got a stop go for speeding in their pit lane today. Nigel through sector 1 is very close. I'm sure it's a glitch before JTX is also sped. I'm sure these drivers are capable of not speeding in the pit lane every time they enter. So it must be a game glitch. We're going to see at the end of the race. Codemasters don't like to apply the 5-second stop goes in the race results anyway, so yeah, it's going to see. Jay gets another 2 tenths on this lap from Tom Killer. Maledictus may go for a move on Swomi around the outside, goes the McLaren. No space there. Swomi covers the door. Nice battle for P5 here. As Grangeby is also going to join in. The Mercedes very close. And it's also a 3-way battle for P2. As DRS now gets enabled. And now things will get even closer. Maledictus, a wide line through there. Grangeby is going to be all over the back of that McLaren. Into turn 3. Grangeby is going to try and make it around the outside. No space there. Maledictus runs him out of road. Not the cleanest defending by Maledictus. Nigel has lost a bit of ground to Tom Killer, who seems to be a bit quicker than Jay at this stage of the race. He's gained 2 tenths back on the last lap. Maledictus is going to go down the inside of Swomi. This could end badly. Maledictus and Swomi, a bit of contact there. Approaching the fast left right chicane. It's going to be almost 3 wide. Maledictus lost it. And Swomi, how have they not collided there? How have they not crashed? Grangeby, sorry. And Gamer is now retired. Gamer is out of the race from P4 on the grid. And it's now Nigel up into P3. And this is a battle for P4. Around the outside goes Swomi. Maledictus loses it. Grangeby also joins in. This is an amazing battle to watch. Grangeby and Maledictus side by side into the penultimate corner. And Grangeby has made them for P5. Swomi up into P4. Maledictus loses 2 positions and goes down to P6. And now Grangeby is going to want to make another move stick. And Swomi's in the wall. Swomi and Maledictus have collided. Grangeby has caused all of that. And I would say, from an early prediction, I think that was decent. Causing that because Grangeby's car didn't take any reaction from that incident. But meanwhile, Gamer has retired from P4. We're now left with 12 runners on this race. Robin and Maledictus have exchanged positions as well. with Nigel still 5/10 away from Tom. What a battle for P4 that was. But now Maledictus has got no front wing. Tom Killer has picked up another penalty. Johnny is probably going to make his way up into P7 again. And that was an incredible battle for P4. And now we are left with another great battle for P2. Tom Killer and Nigel. And there's still 13 laps to go. Tom Killer goes into the pits for a pit stop with 13 laps. This has got to be a pit stop for super soft tyres. It is indeed. Maledictus with a 3-second penalty. Robin and LJW now the closest battle we have. RJW loses the back end through there. Robin all over the back of him, but no room for an overtake through such a tight section. So this is the battle of P4. RJW seems to be struggling a tad compared to Robin. Stromey now makes his pit stop. And he comes out in P11 on super soft tyres. Robin goes a bit wide, lifts off the throttle for safety to not crash into the barrier. Now Johnny is joining in, so this is nice to see. Johnny in the battle for P4 on the super soft tyres, and I think we're going to see a move done quicker than we thought. Johnny looks on the inside into the penultimate corner. Let's see if he has a chance to overtake Robin now with the use of DRS and overtake mode. Slipstream as well. There's a guy coming out of the pit lane. That could be Spaghetti, and it is indeed. So blue flag is going to come into play now. Rinky has got a time penalty, and Johnny's all on the back of Robin. He's going to go for a move. Yes, he is. Johnny down the inside into turn 3. Robin down to P6. Is Johnny going to be able to hold it around the outside? Yes, he is. Robin down to P6. Great move from Johnny up into P5. And next up is the Red Bull of RJW. Let's see if Johnny has got the pace to convert this into a P4 race finish. And if he can go to the end on these tyres, let me check how many laps he's been on them. 8 laps on the soft. So yeah, the game doesn't really help us out there either. RJW very slow on a straight. Johnny right up on him. DRS zone coming up, and it's very close between the two of them. Johnny looks to the inside. He's going to go down the inside into turn 13. RJW has got a bit of front wing damage from what I can see there. Johnny's going to back out for now, as he does have clearly way more pace than the Red Bull. He's going to be patient for 2 more corners until he can use the DRS overtake mode slipstream to his advantage to make a move for P4. He's going to go for the outside or the inside. RJW opens the door for him on the inside, and Johnny goes down the inside. They're side by side for turn 2. Oh, very close between the two of them. They pack wheels twice into turn 3. Who's going to be the latest? It's going to be the Red Bull. Still side by side through turn 3 and turn 4. Johnny cannot make the move stick. RJW, some amazing defending with a broken front wing. Unbelievable racing between the two of them. Very nice indeed. And Robin somehow cannot capitalize on this battle. Johnny right up on him. Around the outside for Johnny's going to be able to make this stick. It doesn't look like it. It's a bit of an awkward placement there. And Robin is now very close to these two as well. This is an amazing battle for P4. Johnny is going to get a very good exit again here. And there's like deja vu. Down the inside for Johnny. He's going to be able to make it stick this time. I don't think he is. Again, RJW is going to outbrake him and outpace him through that corner. Johnny's all over the back of him. He's clearly got more pace than him. I think he's going to go down the inside. No, he's not. And now it's a four-way battle for P4. Look at this. This is amazing scenes. RJW again very slow on the exit. Johnny's now going up to the outside line. And I think it's going to be a move down. The two Ferraris are going absolutely everywhere on the track on the background. Johnny up into P4. RJW has to yield. And down to P5 he goes. And he may lose yet another position after that bad exit from turn 2. Down the inside goes Tom Killer. Robin is now down to P7 as he has been passed by his teammate. And RJW down to P6. Robin's lost it. Robin's lost it. It's going from bad to worse for the Ferrari driver. And he's now lost his front wing. The next car is miles away, but he is going to have to pit. And the battle for P4 is still going as Tom Killer now has got more pace than Johnny. And RJW down to P6. So this is going to be another interesting battle to see. Tom Killer all over the back of Johnny. He's going to go for a move. No, he's not. So Johnny stays in P4 and gets a penalty, but it doesn't matter because we are seeing an absolutely amazing battle for 4th place. And there's still 7 laps to go. The top 3 are not changed for the past 5 or 6 laps since the safety car left. And we are now left with this Renault versus Ferrari battle for P4. Tom Killer gets a very nice exit. Johnny is going to open the door. And Tom Killer, one of the easiest moves he has to make today, up into P4. Is Johnny going to answer back? I don't think he is. Tom Killer gets the DRS and he's quicker than him on a straight line. And it's P4 for Tom Killer, P5 for Johnny. And I think that is the end of most battles we're going to see today. Maledictus and Robin. Robin has to make his pit stop. I think he's going to pass him. JTX is not, so Robin is going to come out in P10 actually. JTX is right there. And Swomi is going to pass him as well. So Robin down to P11. Outside of the points. Tom Killer's not really pulling away. It's half a tenth between him and Johnny. Is Johnny going to be able to fight back his way to P4? He's had an amazing race so far. He doesn't have the most PRS saved. So he's going to have to go on low. So oh, Grangebury pits. So Grangebury pits with 5 laps to go. For ultra soft tyres, I would imagine his tyres cannot go to the end. So we are seeing a change in the top 3. And now Tom Killer's up into P3, Johnny up into P4. And Grangebury is going to come out just ahead of Maledictus in P6. And he has a long way to go if he wants to get that P3 back. 7 laps to go. And about 10 seconds away from his goal. Can he do it? Gonna be another amazing comeback if he could. But it is an interesting strategy nevertheless. Right now he's throwing away 7 points. And he's gonna have to fight very, very hard to get those points back. Meanwhile, Nigel and Jay just under 3 seconds of each other, so we're going to check the penalties. Jay is absolutely clean, 2 warnings, and Nigel hasn't got one either. Penalty for Tom Killer. Let me check gaps. Alright, so we want Johnny's got quite a lot of penalties, so I know he's probably not going to be challenging for the podium today. Grunge has got almost 3 seconds this lap from RJW. Absolutely insane stuff. And there's more yellows. What else are we going to see? It's Swomi facing the wrong way in the exit of turn 9. Not the best day for Swomi. It's looked good for points, but it's gone downhill since very recently. So Swomi outside the points. Robin is now up to P10 on the fresh Ultras. indeed. So let's see, 5 laps to go. The top 2 are covered by 2.8 seconds. Jay leads the way from pole. Nigel's made his way up into P2. And we are now looking at Grangebeer. What can he do with just over 5 laps to go on fresh ultra softs? Obviously penalties are going to come into play, but we're going to have to see where he finishes compared to RJW, Johnny and Tom Killer. Tom Killer's got 1 penalty, I believe Johnny's got either 2 or 3. He has got 3 penalties, RJW has got none. And Grangebeer's got 2 penalties, so he is going to have to pass Johnny on track, and he's going to have to make a 6-second gap from RJW. So 23.0, the fastest lap on Grangebeer right now. The gap up front has gone down to 2.2, 6 tenths lost for Jay. None of them have a penalty. Another 2 tenths gained by Nigel. This could be interesting. Jay could be struggling with tyres here. Nigel's got a 3-second penalty, so that could be his opportunity is over. Jay isn't far away from a penalty either, so this could turn around. Let's see, Grangebeer now right behind RJW. He's gonna have to make this move stick very, very quickly. I believe even after the chicane, look at that. Look at the difference in speed. RJW is going to try and defend the inside line very correctly, as this is going to allow Grangebeer to have to go around the outside, which he is going to make either way. Way better grip than RJW, and it's going to have to be 7 seconds gained in the next 4 laps for Grangebeer. So that's about 1.5 seconds per lap, and that's already gone down to 6.2 as we start lap 26 out of 29. The gap between the top 2 is now under 1.7 seconds, and you can visibly see Jay getting ever so slightly closer to Nigel, but Nigel does have that extra 3 seconds added to his race time at the end. So unless Jay gets a 1 penalty, then I think Jay has this in the bag. But it's 1.4 seconds. Jay could feel the pressure now, so this could lead him to a mistake. It's going to be interesting to see. Robin is now very close to JTX, and he does make the move stick around the outside, as it seemed, into the first corner. It's now 1.3, the gap between the top 2, as Grangebeer has trimmed the gap down to 5 seconds. It is going to be very tight between him and Johnny. The top 2 are still getting closer. It's going to be a very tight finish to the end. 1 more lap and Nigel's going to have DRS. Look at that, Jay's right there. Jay's gone a bit wide, and I think Nigel is now within 6 tenths of him. Nigel was a bit wide, which is not going to help him. We've got yellow flags. Now Suomi right ahead of the 2 leaders. Suomi spinning out on sector 1. As Grangebeer is now 4 seconds behind Johnny. It's 2.5 laps to go for these 2. The question is the pressure going to get to Jay? Because at the moment he has this race win in the bag, with the 3-second penalty that Nigel had. But both of these drivers have drove absolutely excellently today, and they deserve this podium. But who's going to come out on top? It's going to be very tight on track, but we have a difference in penalties, which unfortunately sometimes win the battle for the race wins and podiums in other positions. Grangebeer is now down to 3.3 from Johnny, so it's going to have to be over a second per lap again. It's a very hard task But Grangebeer looks like a man on a mission right now. Look at him sitting over the apexes, very sharp driving. It's now 2.8, so it's 9 turns per lap. He has to gain to Johnny. The gap should be under 2 seconds at the end of this lap. Nigel is now 7.5 turns beyond Jay. It's going to be a very exciting battle, even for the race win. After 29 laps, after 1 VSC, 1 safe car. It's Jay versus Nigel with just over 6 kilometers to go. It's 4 tenths now. DRS for Nigel. Jay is right there. They're very close to each other, a few meters apart. They're about to start the final lap of this Australian Grand Prix, and they are just there. The two leaders after 29 laps are so close to each other. Nigel's going to look down the inside and pressurize Jay even more. Jay doesn't like this pressure at all, you can see it. Gap is now 3 tenths. Is Nigel going to go for any sort of move? No, he's not. Jay places his car very smartly there into turn 3. But through this sector 1 and sector 2 section, we'll be able to see that Nigel's got way more tyre wear. Rinky has retired from P8, unfortunately. So we've lost Rinky, and he's just lost 4 points on this race. 3 tenths, you can see how close Rinky is. Nigel, sorry. Grimsby is also getting closer to Johnny, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Both of them have the same penalties. Again, DRS for Nigel, but I think he realizes that it's pretty much a race win over, and he goes wide. It's going to be P2 for Nigel. It's going to be the race win for the Mercedes driver. It's pole and the win here in Australia for Jay Hitticht. 25 points in the bag for the Mercedes driver. He wins the first race of the Formula 2 Championship. Nigel in P2 on the Force India. Tom Killer finishes in P3 with Johnny getting another time penalty, so that's going to drop him down to P5. So at the end of the day, Grangebeer didn't have to get within the 3 seconds. He's still going to be very, very tight. It's Tom Killer rounding up the podium. Grangebeer snatches P4 for 3.3 seconds from Johnny, who also had a very good race, 6 positions gained. RJW in P6. Maledictus finishes in P7 in the McLaren Renault. Robin in P8, quite a long way back. It could have been better for Robin today. Could have been more points for sure. But he comes around the final corner to get 4 points for Scuderia Ferrari and his name on the constructor standings. JTX is going to be the last one to cross the line now. It's 2 points for him and Red Bull. And that rounds us up for the F2 Australian Grand Prix. That was an absolutely incredible race to kick things off for Season 5. A very close race and very close qualifying. And it's Jay who wins, the British driver, followed by Nigel on the Force India and Tom Killer in the Ferrari. And we are going to get these top 3 in the party and maybe some more. So get your questions in for the race winner Jay, if you want to ask him anything. Nigel, Tom Killer, and possibly Johnny as well after that great drive. Gonna try and get RJW as well inside the party, but these are your last results. for the Australian F2 Grand Prix. I'm gonna invite the lads in the party now. So bear with me for a second. As I said, put your questions in if you want to. Maybe get some people in the party. Hello, Tom Killer. We got Tom Killer in the party. After a while, after a long summer break, but he's back again in the interviews. Hello, Nigel. Yeah, RJW. You have got an invite as well. Oh, there he is, RJW and Johnny. So we're just waiting for Jay. Okay, Jay doesn't have a mic, so well, congrats anyway, Jay. You're watching a stream. So gonna kick things off with P2. Nigel, very well done from you. And I was just remembering the Germany evaluation race. You went quite well there, and you impressed me quite a lot coming from F3. But today in qualifying, it seemed from the stream's POV that you didn't push 100%. Was it like that? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. In the race, you just showed way better pace than qualifying. But yeah, you converted, I think, a P5, P6 in qualifying to a P2 in the race, and a very close battle with Jay. Did the pressure... Yeah, did the pressure get to you to get that 3-second penalty? Yeah. Alright, so 18 points for you on your F2 debut. Is this a sign of things to come? Do you think you can battle for race wins with the other F2 drivers?
Sorry.
Alright, nice. So well done for your P2. We're gonna move on to Tom Killer now. P3 on the race, and I believe it was P1 last year, Tom.
Yes.
So do you think this is going to be another championship where you struggle against other drivers, or do you think this is the season where you're gonna take the title?
This is the season.
This is the
Yeah,
season.
it's gonna be the season. I'm gonna destroy everybody in this on this grid. There's gonna be no, not this season. Winning Australia is a curse for me. I didn't win this season. So.
Ah, okay. That explains it. Yeah. All right. So, I'm just gonna take a look at something. No questions. So, yeah, P3 for you today. You had quite a lot of battles as well. Pretty much everyone had insane battles today. So, yeah, talk us through your strategy. What did you do on the safety car and the VSCs? Like, what happened today? Top Killer. Tom. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you did, but it was quite interesting with Grangeby. I didn't think you would get a podium obviously until he pitted, it was quite interesting with just 6 laps to go. But
Mine was fit.
what? Oh, I mean, it's quite interesting to pit with 5 laps to go, isn't it? To be fair, I mean, you did quite well today, Johnny. That's why I invited you to this party. Got, I think, six places gained. So yeah, Warlock didn't have a great race either today. Let's not talk about that. Yeah, Johnny, you came from let me count, P10, right, on qualifying, to P11th, to P4 in the race. So did you think? Yeah, but you have a 5-second stop go to remove, don't you? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, I remember now because there was quite a lot of these in the safety car phase. So yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, that was it was even unavoidable in up front with Gamer lagging a lot. So yes, I think he got quite a lot of stop goes without actually touching anyone. But yeah, it was interesting. Johnny, I want you to talk us through that battle for P4 on yeah, on the end of the race, because that was I believe a 4-way battle for that. Yeah, it was Robin. Then you passed him. Then Tom Killer came, and I can't remember. Yeah. RJW did us. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it was a very nice battle indeed, and RJW just did some amazing defending as well with a broken front wing. Yeah, indeed. And then the two Ferraris came, and it became even more exciting for P4. It was a 4-way battle.
That
So
is not else.
what? Hmm. Oh well, let's see. Is there any questions in the chat? It'd be a huge shock.
Because that man can complain as hell.
Okay, so I think that's where we should wind it off. Again, congratulations to Jay, to Jay for winning the first race of the F2 Championship. Nigel and Tom Killer running off the podium, and we're gonna catch you guys in the next race in Bahrain in 1 week's time. So next
I'm
Friday,
gonna win.
6 p.m. not 8 p.m. UK time. Yeah, we'll be in Bahrain. So until next time, I'll see you.